Hi, my name is Sabrina. Are there many people in your life who love you for yourself, not because of money, success, or beauty? If you can name at least one person, you should consider yourself very lucky. All my life, I have been either loved or hated because of my beauty. What beauty, you ask? I'll answer. Once I was a real beauty, but I was made to be like that by force. But first things first, nature rewarded me with a pretty face, a refined figure, but most importantly, with long, magnificent, and beautiful hair. My hair was my wealth. Everyone around me admired it. I knew that I had to use my beauty. I was the third child in a large family. My mother didn't care about me, and my drunk stepfather often looked at me with a frightening smile. I was left to my own devices and tried to break out of this poverty by any means. When I turned 16, everything finally changed. Once, when I was on a street, a handsome young man approached me. His name was Hugh, and he was a famous photographer. He had, literally, fallen in love with my golden hair. Hugh invited me to become a model for him. I swear, he said it as if he was asking for my hand in marriage. I agreed, and soon I abandoned my terrible life and went with him to California. Hugh didn't lie to me. I really did become a model. I was willingly taken to advertise my shampoos, cosmetics, and clothes. My shots graced every third billboard in Los Angeles. My life had become a paradise resort. But not for long, only for 6 months. I ended up pregnant with Hugh's child. I had a daughter, almost as beautiful as me, but after a couple weeks, when I was discharged home from the clinic, Hugh left me. He said that he himself wanted to be the mother of our daughter. It turned out that he was secretly gay and had been dating a guy, secretly, for a long time. He had seduced me, only so that he and his lover could have a truly beautiful child. He offered me $200,000 to leave my daughter with him, and I agreed. What was I supposed to do? To live on the streets without money, but with a small child in my arms? A few months later, I met Matthew, a theatrical producer. My hair made such an impression on him that he didn't hesitate to call me the role of Rapunzel in his new performance. We worked together, and Matthew fell in love with me, head over heels. He proposed to me, and I said yes. Just 2 months after the wedding, I found out that I was pregnant. Again. Matthew was so glad at the news that he literally carried me about in his arms. We had a daughter, but unfortunately, she looked more like my husband than me. Matthew was still just obsessed with me, and he became jealous. He wanted me to just sit at home. While I was pregnant, he took another actress for the role of Rapunzel, but I didn't want to just stay at home. I dreamed of a brilliant career. When the baby grew up a little, I started acting in a little-known series. At one point, my acting partner on set was Rodrigo, who was Latin American. He was so charismatic and ardent that I couldn't help but have an affair with him. I quickly regretted it, but it was too late. The worst part? I was pregnant again, but this time, not from my husband. I didn't know it at this time, but silently feared the worst. Then my third daughter was born. Matthew immediately realized that I had cheated on him. After all, she was a copy of her father. With pronounced Latin American features, I began to make all excuses. I'm sorry, Matthew. Rodrigo told me that he had fallen in love with my golden hair. He gave me so many compliments. I just couldn't resist. Yet to my surprise, it worked. Matthew calmed down and silently left. I calmly returned with the baby home. I thought my husband had forgiven me. How naive I was. The very next morning, I woke up and felt strange. I looked in the mirror. I was completely bald. Not even an eyebrow was left. At that moment, Matthew came into the bedroom with a clipper in one hand and my hair in the other. I was furious and was ready to hit him, but he stopped me dead in my tracks. He had told me that if I wanted to live in his house, to be near our children, I needed to become ugly, so ugly that not even a single man would look at me. Otherwise, he would put me out on the street, penniless, and make sure that I could never work again. I couldn't even have imagined that my husband could be such a despot. I reluctantly agreed to his terms, but this was not the end. Matthew made me sit at home all day, and I really didn't want to go out looking like this. However, one day a gardener named Chow came to the house. My husband had hired him to look after our beautiful garden, but, Chow looked at me, even in such an ugly form, with such loving eyes that I couldn't resist. Chow and I became lovers. He confessed to me that he loved me, not for my hair or beauty, but for my soul, just for me, as I am. And you know what? I'm pregnant, again. I'm sure that Chow is the father. I told him about this, and he suggested that I give up everything and go with him to his homeland, to Vietnam. I don't know what to do. Am I stupid? I love Chow and want to be with him. But at the same time, I don't want to leave my daughters, nor this beautiful house. I need everything here to be better off and for comfortable life. Speaking about Vietnam, do you think the paradise with a suite in a hut? I really need your advice. I'm really scared to make an incorrigible mistake in my life. I do want this pregnancy to be my last. Please, tell me, what should I do? I will read every single comment under this video. Please share my story with your friends. Maybe they'll offer me a solution. Thank you for being with me for these few minutes. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel as well.